The year is 1348. The Battle of Blackwood. Kingdoms collide, fueled by ancient rivalries and land hunger. Sir Callan, a strategist known for unorthodox tactics, observes the brutal dance of war. He sees the predictable charges, the unwavering lines, the desperate courage, and the inevitable losses. This battle, unlike any other, will test not just strength, but wit. A single, crucial decision hangs in the balance, the key to victory, or utter defeat. The fate of Eldoria rests on his shoulders. Callan isn't a warrior of brute force. He is a planner. This token, a family heirloom, represents a forgotten tactic, a feigned retreat, a calculated vulnerability. His father, a renowned general, pioneered this strategy, dismissed as cowardly by many. But Callan believes its deception could shatter the enemy's momentum. He glances at his scouts, their faces grim, awaiting his command. The storm mirrors the turmoil within him. The Iron Legion, masters of siege and attrition, are renowned for their impenetrable defense. General Forlag, a veteran of countless campaigns, believes in overwhelming force. He scoffs at whispers of unconventional warfare. He expects a direct confrontation, a bloody stalemate. He doesn't anticipate the subtle shift in the wind, the unsettling feeling that something is amiss. His confidence is his greatest weakness. Callan's signal is given. A small contingent of his knights begins a controlled withdrawal, a calculated retreat designed to lure the Iron Legion into a trap. The initial reaction is predictable, a surge of triumphant shouts, a renewed push forward. Forlag, seeing his advantage, orders a full-scale pursuit. The ground trembles beneath the hooves of charging horses. The Iron Legion, blinded by their pursuit, begin to spread out, their disciplined formation dissolving into a chaotic chase. They are falling into Callan's trap. He watches from a hidden vantage point, his expression grim but resolute. The rain intensifies, blurring the lines of battle. The air is thick with the smell of sweat, steel, and impending doom. The trebuchet, hidden amongst the trees, unleashes its devastating payload. The massive stone slams into the Iron Legion, causing a catastrophic chain reaction. Horses and soldiers alike are crushed beneath the impact. Panic erupts as the carefully orchestrated advance collapses into utter disarray. The thunderous roar of the trebuchet echoes across the battlefield. Chaos reigns. The Iron Legion's advance is shattered, their ranks decimated. General Forlag, caught in the epicenter of the explosion, struggles to maintain his footing. His armor is dented, his face bloodied. He realizes, with dawning horror, that he has been outmaneuvered, outsmarted. His confidence crumbles under the weight of unexpected disaster. Callan seizes the opportunity. With a roar, he leads his remaining knights in a decisive counterattack. They surge forward, exploiting the Iron Legion's disarray, pushing back against the weakened lines. The tide of the battle begins to turn. Hope flickers in the eyes of his soldiers. Forlag, wounded and surrounded, desperately tries to rally his demoralized troops, but his pleas fall on deaf ears. His men, witnessing the catastrophic defeat, begin to break ranks and flee. Callan confronts Forlag, his face impassive. The general's reign of terror is over. The storm begins to subside, revealing a battlefield littered with the fallen. Callan stands victorious, but the cost of victory is heavy. He knows this is only one battle in a larger war. The victory at Blackwood has bought Eldoria time, but the true challenge lies ahead. A new threat looms on the horizon. The air hangs heavy with the scent of smoke and sorrow. Callan scans the field, the weight of command pressing down. Ilara's quiet presence offers a stark contrast to the chaos. The Iron Legion retreated north, she reports, her voice barely a whisper. But many were lost. He nods, a grim acknowledgement. This victory feels hollow. He wonders what awaits them beyond this battlefield. The war is far from over. Forlag clutches his side, pain contorting his face. A loyal soldier struggles to support him. His gaze fixes on Callan, a burning hatred igniting within him. Betrayal and defeat mingle in his eyes. He vows revenge, a silent promise whispered to the wind. The fall of Blackwood is not the end. It's merely a pause, a moment to gather strength. He will rise again. Blackwood, once a symbol of Eldorian strength, now bears the scars of war. Buildings crumble, and fires smolder, painting the sky in hues of orange and gray. The city's heart is wounded, its spirit tested. Yet, amidst the destruction, resilience flickers. People begin the arduous task of rebuilding, their determination unwavering. The city will rise again, stronger than before. Inside the ravaged tent, maps are spread across a table, illuminated by flickering torches. Kaelin and Ilara pore over them, charting the Iron Legion's retreat. They're heading towards the Dragon's Teeth Mountains, Ilara observes, tracing a route with her finger. A strategic stronghold. Kaelin's brow furrows. We must anticipate their next move. They will regroup and retaliate. The strategic advantage gained at Blackwood is fragile. High in the Dragon's Teeth, Eldorian scouts navigate treacherous paths. The mountains offer both cover and danger. They move with caution, their senses alert for any sign of the Iron Legion. The terrain is unforgiving, testing their endurance. Their mission, to gather intelligence and report back to Kaelin. The fate of Eldoria may depend on their success. In a secluded camp, Forlag addresses his dwindling officers. His voice is low, laced with venom. We will not be defeated, he declares. This is merely a setback. He outlines a plan for a daring counteroffensive, a desperate gamble to regain lost ground. Revenge will be his reward. He will strike at Eldoria's heart, and he will destroy it. Kaelin stands before his soldiers, his voice strong and resolute. The war is not over, he announces. The Iron Legion will return. He stresses the need for constant vigilance and unwavering readiness. We must be prepared to defend our homes, our families, our freedom. His words inspire a renewed sense of determination in his troops. They will stand firm. Dust motes dance in the shafts of light illuminating the Blackwood Library. Ilara delves into ancient scrolls, seeking forgotten knowledge. She researches the Dragon's Teeth, searching for weaknesses in their defenses. The fate of Eldoria might lie hidden within these aged texts. Hours pass as she deciphers cryptic passages, hoping to find an advantage. In a grand hall, Kaelin meets with a delegation from the Kingdom of Eredor. Negotiations are delicate, alliances forged in the crucible of war. The Eredorian king proposes a joint offensive against the Iron Legion. Kaelin listens intently, weighing the potential benefits and risks. An alliance could turn the tide of the war. But trust is a fragile thing. Deep within the Dragon's Teeth, a scouting party stumbles upon a concealed passage. It's a hidden route, unknown to most. The passage offers a potential path to bypass the Iron Legion's main fortifications. Excitement and apprehension mingle among the scouts. This discovery could be the key to a decisive victory. But the passage may also conceal unforeseen dangers. The passage whispers of a forgotten ritual, a vulnerability in the Dragon's Teeth's magical barrier. It speaks of a convergence of celestial energies, a time window opening only once every century. Ilara realizes the window is closing, and the ritual requires a specific artifact, the Sunstone, rumored to be held within the Iron Legion's citadel. Time is running out, Eldoria's hope dwindling with each passing moment. She tightens her grip on the scroll, resolve hardening in her eyes. Kaelin debates the risks. A joint offensive is a gamble, potentially stretching Eldoria's already strained resources. He worries about the Iron Legion's superior numbers and brutal tactics. But inaction guarantees defeat. He needs to convince the Eredorians of the necessity to secure their unwavering support. The fate of both kingdoms hangs in the balance, resting on his next words. Doubt clouds his usually confident demeanor. The air grows heavy, thick with the scent of mildew and something ancient. A low hum vibrates through the stone, a subtle magical resonance. Captain Varkos, hardened by years of conflict, scans the surroundings, his hand never straying far from his sword. Fear flickers in the eyes of the younger scouts, but Varkos pushes them onward, determined to reach the other side. The passage twists and turns, a labyrinth of forgotten secrets. The map reveals a hidden tunnel system beneath the citadel, a network of forgotten service passages. It's a perilous route, riddled with traps and guarded by automated defenses. Ilara identifies a potential entry point, a disused ventilation shaft near the armory. The risk is immense, but it offers the best chance of reaching the Sunstone undetected. She meticulously plans their infiltration, each step crucial to their success. Your Majesty, a swift, decisive strike is our only hope. The Iron Legion grows stronger with each passing day. A coordinated attack will overwhelm their defenses and cripple their war machine. The Eridorian king listens, his gaze unwavering. He questions Kaelin's strategy, voicing concerns about potential losses. Kaelin patiently addresses each point, emphasizing the urgency of the situation. The weight of decision rests heavily on the king's shoulders. A sharp click echoes through the tunnel as a scout accidentally steps on a hidden pressure plate. A section of the ceiling gives way, showering them with dust and debris. Varkos shouts a warning, shoving the scouts to the ground. A volley of poisoned darts shoots out from the walls, narrowly missing them. The passage is booby-trapped, a deadly testament to the Iron Legion's vigilance. They must proceed with extreme caution. Ilara works feverishly, her fingers flying over intricate gears and wires. The ventilation shaft is protected by a series of magical wards, designed to detect intruders. She attempts to bypass the wards using a combination of arcane knowledge and technical skill. A faint energy field shimmers around the mechanism, resisting her efforts. She knows one wrong move could trigger a deadly alarm. This alliance, it is a pact with destiny, Your Majesty. A fragile hope against overwhelming darkness. Kaelin says, his voice filled with sincerity. The king nods slowly, his eyes reflecting the weight of responsibility. We fight not just for our kingdoms, but for the future of Eldoria, he replies. A shared understanding passes between them, a bond forged in the fires of war. The future remains uncertain. The tunnel narrows, forcing the scouts to crawl on their hands and knees. The air is thick and suffocating, making it difficult to breathe. Varkos's armor scrapes against the rough stone, a grating sound that echoes in the confined space. He pushes onward, urging his scouts to keep moving. The darkness is absolute, broken only by the flickering light of their torches. Something feels wrong. Ilara slips through the ventilation shaft and emerges into a dark, dusty corridor within the citadel. The air is still and silent, broken only by the sound of her own breathing. She's inside. But the citadel is not as deserted as she anticipated. A faint light flickers at the end of the corridor, hinting at a watchful presence. She draws her dagger, ready for anything. On a rocky hill at dawn, a weathered commander clad in ornate plate armor with silver trim stood with a battered sword in hand, his eyes narrowed against the horizon where the fate of kingdoms would be decided. Below him stretched a vast battlefield, a chaotic expanse of cavalry charges, flaming banners, and shattered wooden fortifications, all veiled in morning mist, a scene where every heartbeat carried the weight of strategy and the last twist of war awaited his choice. On a rocky hill at dawn, a battle-scarred commander in ornate silver-trimmed plate armor gripped his battered sword and fixed his narrowed eyes on the horizon, knowing that one tactical choice could decide the fate of kingdoms. Below him stretched a vast medieval battlefield, where cavalry thundered across the plains, flaming banners tore through the mist, and ruined fortifications marked the chaos of war, a scene where strategy, not strength alone, would determine the last twist of history? On a rocky hill at dawn, a battle-scarred commander in silver-trimmed plate armor gripped his battered sword and gazed across the mist-veiled expanse, knowing that one tactical choice could alter the course of history. Below him, cavalry thundered through the chaos, flaming banners tore against the wind, and shattered fortifications marked the fury of war, a scene where strategy alone would decide the last twist of a medieval battlefield. On a rocky hill at dawn, a battle-scarred commander in silver-trimmed plate armor gripped his battered sword and gazed across the mist-veiled expanse, knowing that one tactical choice on a medieval battlefield could alter the fate of kingdoms. Below him, cavalry thundered through the chaos, flaming banners tore against the wind, and shattered fortifications marked the fury of war, a scene where strategy alone would determine the last twist of history. At dawn, a battle-scarred commander stood upon a rocky hill, his ornate silver-trimmed armor dulled by countless clashes and his battered sword heavy in his grip, while below him the medieval battlefield unfolded in chaos. Cavalry thundered across the plains, banners burned and twisted in the wind, and shattered fortifications lay scattered in the mist, a scene where one tactical choice could shift the destiny of kingdoms and carve the final twist of war into history. At dawn, a weary commander stood atop a rocky hill, his silver-trimmed armor scarred by countless battles and his battered sword clenched tightly in hand, while below him the medieval battlefield roared with chaos. Cavalry charges shook the earth, flaming banners tore through the mist, and shattered fortifications marked the fury of war, a scene where one tactical choice could shift the destiny of kingdoms and carve the final twist into history. At sunrise, a commander scarred by countless battles stood on a rocky hill, his silver-trimmed armor dulled by war and his battered sword clenched with resolve, while below him the medieval battlefield raged in chaos. Cavalry thundered across the plains, banners burned and twisted in the wind, and shattered fortifications lay scattered in the mist, a scene where one tactical choice could shift the destiny of kingdoms and define the final twist of history. At dawn, a commander scarred by countless battles stood firm upon a rocky hill, his silver-trimmed armor dulled by war and his battered sword gripped with resolve, while below him the medieval battlefield writhed in chaos. Cavalry thundered across the plains, banners burned and twisted in the wind, and shattered fortifications lay scattered in the mist, a moment where a single tactical choice could shift the destiny of kingdoms and inscribe the final twist of history. At first light, a battle-hardened commander stood upon a rocky hill, his silver-trimmed armor scarred by countless clashes and his battered sword clenched with determination, while below him the medieval battlefield surged with chaos. Cavalry thundered across the plains, banners burned and twisted in the wind, and shattered fortifications lay scattered in the mist, a moment where a single tactical choice could reshape the destiny of kingdoms and mark the final twist of war. At dawn, a seasoned commander stood upon a rocky hill, his silver-trimmed armor scarred by countless battles and his battered sword gripped with unyielding resolve, while below him the medieval battlefield churned with chaos. Cavalry thundered across the plains, banners blazed against the wind, and shattered fortifications lay scattered in the mist, a moment where a single tactical decision could alter the destiny of kingdoms and etch the final twist of war into history. Ilara moved silently, the citadel's stillness a deceptive calm. Whispers echoed from the darkness, not voices, but something else. She found the chamber, a vast library, books levitating, pages turning on their own. A spectral figure materialized, a former scholar bound to protect forbidden knowledge. He revealed the darkness wasn't external, but within the king himself, a corrupted lineage seeking power. The alliance was not just a fight, but a cleansing. Ilara, with the scholar's guidance, prepared a ritual, a beacon of light to dispel the corruption. The ritual began, a symphony of light and sound. The king writhed, the darkness within him battling the cleansing energy. Kalen fought off the encroaching shadows, his magic a shield. Ilara channeled the ancient power, her resolve unwavering. The spectral scholar's essence intertwined with the ritual, amplifying its effect. Slowly, agonizingly, the darkness receded. The king gasped, his eyes clearing, the corruption lifting like a shroud. He looked at Kalen and Ilara, shame and gratitude warring in his gaze. The darkness in the citadel shattered, the immediate threat extinguished. Varkos and the scouts emerged, weary but victorious. The valley, once blighted, showed the first signs of healing, a testament to the alliance's success. The king and queen embraced, a symbol of renewed hope for their people. The stolen artifacts, returned to their rightful places, pulsed with restored energy. The kingdom began to rebuild, not just its structures, but its spirit, forged in the fires of adversity. In the quiet aftermath, Kalen and Ilara found solace in each other's presence. The alliance, born of necessity, had blossomed into a deep understanding. Their bond, tested by danger, solidified into a promise of shared responsibility. The king and queen, humbled by the ordeal, vowed to rule with wisdom and compassion, guided by the lessons learned. The future remained uncertain, but the kingdom had a chance for lasting peace and prosperity. Years passed. The kingdom flourished. The scars of the darkness faded, replaced by resilience and unity. The ancient tree in the valley stood as a symbol of their enduring strength. Kalen and Ilara, respected advisors, continued to guide the realm. The alliance, once a pact of survival, became a legacy of hope. A testament to courage, sacrifice, and the unwavering belief in a brighter tomorrow. Peace reigned,